So routes in Remux can handle not just pages, but they can also be resource routes, which for example can be used for an API, which can be used for protecting, say, your API keys on the front end where you want to just have them used on the back end. So here we want to have the city. We add a city and it goes and gets weather information. So the component has the code for going to the resource route. So if we go into our code here, we go to our login page, we're going to maintain a list of state of cities, and each one of these cities will have a weather component. And this component here, weather one, when it is instantiated, what it does is it's going to go and take data from our weather resource route like this. It's going to wrap that result back into the use React query, which is a nice library for basically caching responses, and gives you like states for loading and data and stuff like that. Saves you having to maintain that kind of state yourself. But anyway, let's look at the weather resource route here. So we have this environment key. So we could use this on the front end, but we don't want to use it on the front end because it's just better protected, and we can have the advantages of some of the caching and stuff like that as well. So we basically have this loader function which gets called when the route's created, and we don't have to return like a component here. We can just return a response. So if we don't have a correct city, we return a response with 400, and then if we get data back, then actually this is basically a response for not providing the correct city. And so for example, if we go into here, we put in let's just say Glasgow. Let's go to the network tab. You see here that we've got the query parameters of the city like that, city equals London. And then we're just going to see what we get back. So we're getting a correct status here. If we put in a bad city, it's going to basically give us some issues. Either failed to fetch weather data. I haven't really polished this app too much, but you can see here if there's invalid response, we can return response with this. And then if we have data back, then we just return stringified data, which we then render. That is basically all there is to a resource route. So pretty convenient. Yeah, it's just like an API out of the box, so we happen to go and actually code an API. Okay, there it goes. Thanks for watching, guys.